Hey everyone, Tracy here, also known as Seven Figure Grammy, and here to talk to you about the folks at Marty's new inventory management software called Inventory Falcon. And so Inventory Falcon is going to allow you to basically list items as WFS items while actually adding them to a batch for shipping. Now you can use this as just your item creation tool and not worry about the shipping, or you can just add items into a shipment and it will create those for you. So it's super easy. You create your batch and then you come in and you scan or type in your UPC. You can also search by G10 or just by text words to find your items. So it's going to search the system and find the actual item. You open it up and it preloads in all of the possible information that they can pull over from the Walmart API. So you'll notice there's a lot of fields that we're used to filling in manually that are auto-populated here. So on cost price, obviously, you're going to want to enter that as well as where you bought the item, because eventually we're going to have reporting built into this product so that you can look at profit and loss, supplier, profitability and things like that that we're used to having over in Amazon. If you click on the little calculator button by price, you can log into Martyr, and that way you can look at your competitors and what the pricing is right here on the screen. We don't need an expiration date on this particular product, but it's there. So we're going to enter our SKU information that is a required field by Walmart. Then we can determine what price we want to sell it for. We're going to add our weight. This particular item already has measurements, so we don't have to worry about entering that, but we'll just enter our weight, change the country of origin if you need to, and then these product specifications are there. Just make sure you have the right quantity in it. And then you'll see in red, we have to actually answer this question here. And so once you have all that information in, you add the item, you're going to see it pop in over in this right-hand column. That little spinning wheel means it's in the process of being added to your inventory right now. So while it's processing, we'll just click add another item and we'll go through this process again. So we're going to search by UPC, find the item, and sometimes you're going to get more than one item, just like in Martyr, so that you can choose a multi-pack or a different listing if you wanted to. So we select the listing that we want to actually use. And then this particular item, when it pulls up, there's a few more things that it needs. So apparently that information was not available through the API. And so those fields are in red if they're required for you to enter. We're still working on a few things. You'll see that the measurements are in centimeters. We'll make that, an option to toggle between your centimeters or your inches here. But we'll just enter the information that's required for Walmart. So we'll get our weight in there, and then we'll get our measurements as well. And while we're doing that, if you look over on the right-hand side, you'll see that check mark, meaning this item is now created in your inventory. So again, if you don't want to use this to do your batch shipments, you just want to get items listed, you could just go through this process and list, and not go through the actual process of shipping it in. We're just going to look at this item creation today. We'll give you sneak peeks into the actual batch, WFS shipment batches, and that creation here soon. But wanted to give you this sneak peek into how quickly you can create items. Notice the main image is there. If there's an SDS sheet needed, that will be pre-populated if we have access to that information. We're going to do one more item here, because I just want you guys to see in real time how quickly you can add items to your catalog. The search is faster. Just the whole process and the not having to scroll down the page makes this faster. You can see this one brought up several different items. You can hover and look at the pictures, and see which one you feel like is the best match. And obviously the first one is going to be your UPC match. Most of the time on Walmart, that's what we want to use, but we know that there are some times where the UPC listing is not the best listing. So once we determine that listing, then we'll go ahead and click and go to item creation. And I'm going to speed up the film here a little bit just to get these last couple of items in the mix. All right, so this is going to be at a little bit faster speed just so we can get through it. But again, we're creating our SKU, we're entering the required information. The thing about Walmart, some of this stuff, the weights and measurements, it is a requirement. We can't get around it right now. So until Walmart actually starts utilizing their database for the weights and measures, there's not a lot we can do to get around that, but at least it's all just right here, pretty simple to go through. And the other elements are already pre-filled, which is really nice. So we don't have to tab through and click all these other things. So there's our third item. We can see our first two items are created, and we're going to go in and we're going to create one last item just so you guys can see that. And then I'm going to show you what it looks like in Seller Center. So we have our first item selection here. Again, the first item is the UPC match. So usually that's the one we want to use, but we can look at those others and make those decisions. Enter our SKU information. I think I was just looking at how the tab function, if you tab through it, because I love to use tab. So again, we need to put our weights and measurements. That's required. Make sure we put in our quantity as well. And this is going to use a FIFO system. If you're not familiar with FIFO, it's first in, first out, which will allow you to add additional purchases of the same item, but at different buy costs. But the tracking of that, the first item that you purchased, whatever price that is, will be utilized when the first item sells. So a lot of softwares do an averaging, which is not actual great accounting, but this will use a FIFO system. So just make sure you add your supplier and your costs there. So we're looking at this last item. It's going to spin, then it's going to turn into a green check mark. And at that point, we'd be ready to proceed to ship these items. But I want to show you what it looks like actually on the Walmart platform. So we're going to flip over to that. And so you can see here the items they're listed as seller fulfilled, Walmart eligible. So at this point, if you needed to do something else before you created your shipment, you could. And again, like I said, maybe you have a VA use this or somebody else uses to enter the items and then you do the shipments. But just wanted to share this with you. Exciting news for us. Walmart sellers, I'm super excited. The guys at Martyr have been great about listening to feedback about what we need in an inventory software. And I know that we'll continue to do that as they build upon this and make it absolutely the best software to win on Walmart. Thanks.